All
having a
timed to
quick
perfection.
as you load in. First pick Mirana. Always a conundrum.
Do you go carry or do you do other stuff?
You go carry and the exact
you go
pool.
carry.
The exact pool is very important. Like, is there enough stuff that's like not high priority that you can pick something early and get guaranteed to get pick 20?
So grabs Glaives of Wisdom, good carry skill. He's got good agility gain. His int gain is shit, but he does prevent 2, 3. There's 5 agility heroes on the other team. One of these bastards would have taken Glaives of Wisdom and been effective with it. So
yeah,
these are pretty good hero models on the dire side. Radiant side's not that bad either, though. I don't think.
Enchantress takes a little shredder. That's not. There's nothing super good with it, right?
No, it's mainly. I think it's mainly block pick against Snap. Like if the other players have spells they desperately want. This pool doesn't have any S tier spells, does it?
Spirit Siphon's very good. I mean, there's still Spin Web potentially if you want lane abuse. I'm looking at Skeleton Walk maybe to set some stuff up.
Shackles is good because it's going to force someone to counter pick the Mass Serpent Wards, I think.
Yeah, I mean, carry spells, Barrage, Insatiable Hunger's not amazing. Leap is pretty good.
Do you what about the Storm Surge on Shredder? He's planning for the Shard. So he's basically going to do Razor Bloodstone shit.
Oh, well, he can go Visage Gravekeeper's Cloak, right? And be super tanky with it.
He could. Is that overkill, though? It feels like overkill. I mean, there's not that many new ultis left, but
yeah,
it would have been really good with Spirit Siphon. But no, I think Pugna making the right choice. You can't let your opponents are going to take it if you don't.
Are we going to see the wards get blocked from the Kings? Are they going to let him? I think it's one of the best, very best wards.
Like the fact you've gone Barrage, you have to go another carry spell because it's so limited in this pool.
Like
you can't. It doesn't go Serpent Wards. Goes Chain Frost.
I mean, Serpent Wards is a lot of fucking mana. Late game. I don't know if that matters that much.
It's too much.
And also, he gets double shard this way with Ice Spire, which is perfect actually.
But you don't get the Serpent Wards.
Who cares? He doesn't need it. He needs a shard and he needs a blink or invis. If he invis, shard, ulti shackles you, you just die.
Yeah,
because you can't get away from it. So, who got the invis? Shaman did. Skeleton Walk with Exorcism is very, very cool. I'm into that.
Yeah, you're right about the nukes. There's no Pugna Netherward is usually pretty high priority. Like you wouldn't necessarily see it first pick, but very often second pick. So it's completely ignored so far.
Does Mirana go Starstorm?
Searing Arrows. Death Pact.
But Searing Arrows and what?
I think it's Death Pact, right?
Grave Chill.
You're building carry.
Yeah, Death Pact. You're probably right. Someone else will take it if you don't.
Like that's the thing. The pool is so
really
limited.
Nice.
Okay. Grave Chill kind of does it. It does solves both things. Solves his mobility and it gives him Amplify. Because he needed some Amplify to go with Searing Arrows and the other one.
Lich gonna... Okay, so this means you leave Death Pact to the DP. So I kind of like DP's build as a carry more than the other ones, but Moran is a Mirana model, so it feels nice.
All right, Shredder's gonna go the classic 4 passive build, I think. Here.
Hell yeah.
Storm Surge Untouchable.
Gravekeeper's Cloak. Gravekeeper's Cloak.
It's actually kind of like anti-synergy though, right?
Nature's Attendance.
Because you Storm Surge based on people attacking you, and now he just isn't going to be attacked very often. It's like having Untouchable with Axe Spin or something.
Yeah. Right. I like this. We talked about it before, right? It's easy to fall into the trap of going for super unkillable tanky and do no damage. Frost Blast solves all that damage.
It does. It's pretty solid. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a talent, but...
Are we going to see Life Drain here? Life Drain Decrepify? From the Pugna?
I could see that being... Yeah, it could be pretty good. Now, Blast... Yeah, that's a good point. He needed AoE. He has no AoE right now. He wouldn't be able to hit creeps ever.
No one hits towers.
Yeah, no one hits towers. I mean, Nether Blast is good.
What's he going to go for? Mass Serpent Wards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about the Death Prophet wants Death Pacts, like you say, and then they're going to take something from the Enchantress, so Mirana gets left with Moonlight Shadow.
I feel like DP Silence is very often underrated as a spell. Like having a 6 second silence in a massive AoE always feels very nice on supports. Clinks takes it. To fill that last slot. So what else can Shadow Shaman pick to be super annoying? Frost Shield? I mean, Soul Assumption is also not bad. You've got nukes and a lot of damage from Exo.
He's got an Ags. Some right click could be okay. I mean, Arcane Curse is good. Last Word is good too. He's going to have Ags anyways. That makes sense. He got the one Ags ability that was left. So he's got AoE Last Word and AoE, or Ags Exorcism, if he chooses to go it.
Oops. And no one's taken Starstorm at all.
So you can probably... Yeah, it's a little surprising, actually. That's a great laning ability, actually. I guess it makes sense to go Netherblast over Starstorm if you're Pugna because you have talents. But other than him, maybe Shredder could have gotten it instead of Frostblast, but Frostblast probably does more.
Oh yeah, so earlier on, one of the reasons that no jungle got destroyed was this Tide Hunter that had Life Drain, and he went SNY. Sorry, he went Kaya and Octarine Core.
Okay.
Oh my word, he was like such.
Oh,
like they had to deal with him. They had to just deal with him
with Life Drain.
Otherwise, he would just stand. Yeah. They just had to deal with him. Like they had to go in and try kill him, and when they did, it just made so much space for the rest of the team.
Lich's build looks squishy to me. I don't know if that one's gonna function super well until he gets items, but I think Shaman's build is excellent. At least there's some good builds.
Yeah, I think I would rather play Radiant. I'm a bit worried about what Dire does if DP has a bad game, because I feel a lot of their mid to late game rests on her shoulders with the carry build. Is she gonna be pos one or go mid? I guess you go mid with Burning Barrage, but then who's your position one this game?
A bad reputation.
Yeah, they're all sitting in Fountain wondering what lanes to,
this is so common in AD. Like bounty runes are spawning, you're just walking out. It's very normal.
Like, what items am I buying? What lane am I going to? I don't know.
Yes.
I guess the call's been made. DP goes mid, so Silencer's going to be
Silencer's
the
hitting
carry.
creeps. I mean, he kind of needs to hit creeps. His build sucks. His build does nothing without items, right? It's just like Frost Blasty. So
Ench is a super annoying lane support. Pugna, same story. Or is Pugna going to be the 3?
I mean, he's got spin and web, so you can core-ish.
So do we have lanes for the Radiant side sort out?
Lich is hitting creeps, probably carry. Mirana hitting creeps, probably carry also. Or maybe they're just not buying bottle. I'm not sure who's going mid. I mean, it's Shaman mid, which makes sense.
I would put Lich safe lane, I guess. Wait, Shaman's mid. So Lich has to go to a side lane with a static link, right?
For sure.
I mean, he could stay middle.
No, he doesn't have AoE. You don't want to put no AoE pre-6 mid.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Shaman's going to go mid, he'll max Plasma Field, get 2 Skeleton Walk, get ulti, and then he's going to side lane gank and do like a shitload if they don't have sentries to like kill him. At least he's squishy, so they can deal with him that way. But and then Clinks will spend all game channeling to set up kills. Snapfire support is actually kind of shit, but his like teamfight impact later is excellent between like Decrep, Nether Ward, Mortimer's Cookie.
Yeah.
Like his team fights are really fucking good. So yeah, one of these guys will hit creeps.
Ench, Pugna, Visage. It looks like Visage, Ench are the supports, and Pugna's going to be the one getting farm. I guess that makes sense if you want. I mean, it's like Purge said, right? You've got spin web, you've got little shredder, so you've got the potential to scale, and with Hex, you have the potential to insta kill people. So I think Ench offers so much hero damage compared to a Pugna who's, I feel, much more focused on tower damage as the game progresses. Like, okay, Spirit Siphon's good in lane, Leap is good as an escape, but it feels like Shredder's build here is sit in, be a Beastmaster, right? You're dead lane playing, pushing towers, being very annoying on the opposite side of the map to where your opponents want to be.
And he's got the mana pool for it too. Like he's just going to be able to do a ton of shit. And then with Shard, he's got that Leap Shard. Watch out for that.
Oh, the projectile shooting thing?
Something like that. It does like a little, it looks like a baby gust or something.
It has the word cone in the tooltip.
Yes, it looks like a gust when you land or something, but it's like very small.
It also has the word Sagan in it. So that's like,
oh, that's good. That's really good.
That's really helpful.
All right.
Silencer already being shackled by his bounty rune. And it's actually the Mirana up here with the glaives just punching into the Silencer. How does that feel?
It's like 4 pure damage per hit. Who cares? Yeah, and he just goes back to heal. He'll TP top. He doesn't care. So it is going to be... Is he hitting creeps? Yeah, he's probably hitting creeps on Silencer.
5 Ench,
yeah.
So they put the DP mid can sustain with Insatiable Hunger, clear waves with Burning Barrage.
Yep,
that should be fine against the Shadow Shaman. And then Lich carry bot, right, with the Clinks as a support.
Yep.
Feels pretty rough having no nuke. You're just a shackle bot. Your HP is awful. Your mana pool's awful.
Your base damage is
fun for Clinks.
the worst.
Yeah.
This is definitely the biggest weakness. If he had a better model with shackles, like this is a completely different lane for them. But Impetus will get some stuff done, right? Like once he gets Spirit Siphon, it'll be a little different because he can offset the heal. But at least right now, Waifu here is going to be able to harass decently with the Lich.
I just realized what his name is. Oh my god.
I realized it earlier.
What is it? I don't get it.
Well, it's waifu.
Waifu.
You know, like,
Oh,
like Japanese anime
Okay.
waifu, yeah. Oh yes, Clinks. Shackle that visage for a grand total of...
He got 60 heal, okay? That was a shit brain sat, but it was better than losing the courier.
Okay.
Definitely worth it here. I'm interested to see how Silencer's build turns out, I think, the most, because he's going to have all this extra movement speed. So it feels like he's going to have a lot of cool things he can do, personally. I actually played Enchantress Core the other day, and I got Ags on it. Sprunk is actually, like, really fucking legit. It's not going to be good this game, obviously, because he doesn't have Impetus, but you can, like, be rooted, and you can still use it and shit. So I was playing against a bunch of Atoses, it, like, didn't matter. I would just, like, Sprunk out of it. It felt fucking cool. I don't think it's ever going to matter, because, like, in a regular Dota game, you won't see it much, but definitely a good option.
In, like, ability arena or ability draft, having that with some kind of attack modifier, or lifesteal or crit or something, right, just feels really good. You get all these extra hits out.
Yeah, so, I don't know, maybe ultra late game he might do it, but I think it's less likely.
It's a little bit
way better Impetus.
A dance in the top lane. The Snapfire, I think, might have given away that he has a high ground ward based on how he was juking so well there.
Okay.
But I have to say, the MVP for me so far is this Enchantress. I don't know if you watched this top lane, but it's just been constant harass onto both of the other laners, yeah.
Plus movement. I mean, he's 377 movement speed, plus regen. He's got 7 regen right now with like no items. So, yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, he's just standing there punching non-stop.
I feel like almost every time that you see Spin Web in ability draft, it's almost always cores. But this is like a really good argument for making it just... Alright, from my perspective, that's what I see. Maybe not you guys, but...
Yeah.
I see it picked often first and stuff.
I think it's like a bit of a bait. It's like weird because people pick it a little bit too early for the wrong reasons. I think it's like a good value, like later the first round or second round pick.
I think it often ends up being a pos 4 spell or a 3, but it's just a very annoying spell to lane against.
I like it with fog. Yeah, I like it with things like reflection, nether blast, things that spawn spudlings, things that you can just stand on the side and be annoying and they're gonna deal with you.
Man, that Clinks nearly died. Soul Assumption damage from the Visage, and he's gonna have talents later, right? Yeah, 15 and 20. That's some pretty nice Soul Assumption talents, along with Scatterblast and Arrow.
As a great 4th pick of an ability. You're definitely happy playing Visage. Be like, oh, my last ability is Soul Assumption with talents? Hell yeah. That's going to be really nice once his mana gets high enough. He's got great nukes, after all. He's going to be able to make his own Soul Assumption, that's for sure. But yeah, double Spirit Siphon, one of the best laning abilities in the game. Fantastic for getting kills, staying alive, doing almost everything in Dota. It's definitely one of the best abilities from my perspective. Not as good late game as it used to be, but still very good.
DP's kind of getting crushed in this lane. This is meant to be your hard carry, really, so needs a good start to get the ball rolling. And Clinks just dies again in that bot lane. It's not a fun time. Bad hero model. Doesn't have an amazing laning skill set either.
Yeah, that's true. It looks so nasty later on, but yeah, his lane is so bad. No damage, basically. He's got shackles for damage. That's not the purpose.
Yeah, and this DP, I think, like, once we get to level 6s, what's it, like 7-8 minutes in even, the Shadow Shaman's going to be roaming around using Exo, killing towers, using level 3 Plasma Field, killing heroes. DP, I think, is probably just going to be hitting Ancients, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, he will catch up in that sense, because Burning Barrage is, like, crazy fast farming, and he's going to have all the sustain that he would ever need from Insatiable Hunger. We're going to see good shard value, maybe, from him, too. He's got Gravekeeper Cloak upgrade, too, so he's got double. No one ever buys shard on Brood. But in this case, it might work. He's going to get a bunch of bonus damage as the fight continues. Increases duration by a couple seconds, by 2 seconds. So, you know, but he might have some, like, really insane Burning Barrages, like, halfway through the team fights.
Yeah. The worry is they've not got much control for him, right? They've got Hex and Arrow.
I caught that whole fight. There was nothing he could do there.
Yeah, it's Clinks.
So they have control for which hero were you talking about?
They don't have any control to allow the DP to do damage. Like when you're using Burning Barrage, you'd love to have a Vacuum Storm Hammer or something. But at the very least, you want a stun so you can hit one hero at least. And they've not really got anything, right? Hex and arrow is.
They've got Storm Surge Shard. It's fine.
That's broken. Fixes all problems.
Yep. Just as long as he's taking enough damage, it will slow them. This build looks good though. I mean, having Nature's Attendance later is gonna be a nice way to stay alive.
Nice decrap to stop a little shredder damage. Oh, the webs and fairy fire though. This is why it's so irritating to lane against an Eng. You know, you trade poorly against her constantly for the first 6 minutes, then you see an opportunity. Yes, we can kill the Eng, and then she walks up a high ground and you can't touch her.
That does not sound very fun. All right. Ooh, nice pick up there. Little mistake by Visage, not expecting that damage.
Action bottom. Shredder's going on them, but also getting gone on.
Yeah, Spirit Siphon into Static Link, into Shackles. There's so many lines of electricity and stuff flying out. He leaps forward. Nether Blast, all the raindrops on the Lich, keeping him protected. Still getting Siphoned. He does have another blast as well. Kills off Waifu. And this Clinks, he's got Shackles back up, but he just cannot do the damage to kill off Shredder.
He's thinking about the Mass Serpent Word block here. Yeah, the problem is that, like, it's the abilities just counter each other, right? Or Spirit Siphon counters Impetus, right? You want to be close anyways to cast it, so it just solves your problem. You can be close forever as long as you have Spirit Siphon charges, then he doesn't get Impetus damage, so bummer. Need a ability to reset there on the Lich, otherwise it's just not going to work.
Yeah. And it's kind of a weird combo with Static Link and Impetus as well, right? Because you want to go up to them to link them, and then you want to do Impetus damage from afar.
Yeah, but they are kind of good because you get to move while you're attacking. That part's kind of sick.
Yeah,
but
nice.
the other issue is that, like, you're really starved for skill build the first like 6 because you want Static Link because more points dumpsters the lane. But if you don't get enough Impetus, your casual harass isn't good. So it's like it's like you're trying to min-max. Do I want casual harass or do I want kill potential?
Yeah, I mean this is the move, right? Okay, he's got untouchable, but we should have enough magic damage here to nuke him down.
Oh, he forgot to right-click it.
Oh, can we finish him?
Oh no, he messed up.
Saved him. No way. Now Serpent will drop. Shredder protects. Little Shredder onto the Shadow Shaman, but he's invis with the Exo. Yeah, he'll chase him down with the Ghost. Find the finishing touch. Yeah. And the Lich is still battling the Pugna off to the left, leaping aggressively. Shredder double Spirit Siphons and looks for Tofu. Oh, they can't get the Mirana out of here. Oh, can they? Walks into the Wolves and dies to them instead, but another leap forward as this Pugna has been silenced. Has one Spirit Siphon and an Arcane Boots into leap, helped by the Hex of the Enchantress. Gets touched by the very edge of the plasma field. Shadow Shaman with another kill.
His build working out finally. So this is what they needed on the Radiant side for sure. Unfortunate they lost that initial kill. He didn't auto-cast his Impetus, so that first attack that came out didn't have the bonus. That really cost him a lot.
Oh no. And some revenge on the Ench at last.
I mean, her build will scale fine at least. Once she gets like Tranquil Boots, she can power heal allies, or like sit on the back of fights, cast Hex repeatedly. So I think her build will be okay, even though she's a bit underleveled.
It's just like Shadow Shaman moves from mid. What, he got like 500 gold or something from moving top and fighting, getting kills. You know, it would have been nice for the DP to have some stacks or something to fall back on, but just relied on clearing waves. And it's pretty far behind now in terms of net worth.
It's got one big stack here, so he's going to clear.
That's
that
good.
At least.
Now pushes him closer to Maelstrom.
Yeah, that's pretty good AoE for just Javelin. Not bad, not bad. You're losing some... I mean, Insatiable Hunger doesn't really give you that much damage is the main thing, I suppose. So it's like not the biggest steroid, but between Death Pact and that, it'll be plenty, I think, once he gets Maelstrom. So...
This was an interesting question. When certain spells people like associate like, you know, more with core or supports in different regions, different playstyles. What's your, you know, we were talking earlier about Web, which you says, you know, you more commonly a core spell, in your opinion?
Yeah.
What's your feeling on Scatterblast?
Anybody, who cares? It's so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good nuke.
Yeah, amazing nuke, you farm with it. Like, any AoE spell is like worse on any hero, right?
Oh, Shredder. He's being a pest, but there's 4 heroes in this jungle now. Oh, pops the mech TP, but the Sinister Gaze is there.
Clint is like, yes, I'm made for this.
Useful.
You need a stun? I got him, baby. Yeah, so here's where Shredder's build is lacking a little bit. He needs more levels right now. He's got more than enough survivability and some good damage with Spirit Siphon, but he needs Nether Blast to be more leveled so that he can actually just get these pick-offs. So tough for him that he's not able to manage these.
That was the first permanent int stolen by Mirana. +2 at long last.
Ooh, that's going to pay off a lot. That's the extra. Oh, that's like a 1.5 pure damage late game that he just gained. But right now, it doesn't do shit. Oh,
And
sorry, it's
what is
1
that?
pure damage.
That's 60% of a Pugner's level in terms of in-game.
Basically.
5.2 in per level. Oh, nice catch on the Enchantress mid. Oh, +2 again. Here we go, Tofu stacking them up.
Did you just not pay attention to what Clinks had? That's kind of what it felt like. Unless Clinks was invis or something. I don't know. I didn't. He just got disabled. Got to watch out. Now he's telling his team, he's like, hey, this guy can stun you for like 8 seconds. Like, that's actually what's going to happen. 5 plus 2.5. So 7.5 seconds stun coming from Clinks as the game continues. Here's Silencer like slowly trying to transition here. Looks like he's going to go for a Maelstrom build. Definitely needs some time to come online. It's going to need like Maelstrom plus Shard or something.
I kind of want Dire to do some smokes with this Visage, roam around the map a little bit, you know, alongside the Pugner, and that, you know, really does a lot more than just the Pugner alone. They get the kill on the Lich there very simply, and Shadow Shaman out of mana, so he can't stick around top. They see the Clinks and blow him up, and yeah, Visage making the correct move to come up here with all of his nuke damage, and even looking for the arrow to slide in onto the Snapfire. Turn on the Mirana now. Tofu's walked into a dangerous spot. Plasma Field trying to slow the aggression from the Dire, but they just keep on diving. Shredder, he leaps forward, wants the Mirana, turns towards the Shadow Shaman, but he's into Invis now. Tofu trapped in the tree line as they throw Mortimer's Kisses, Plasma Field, lots of long-range nukes. That can't even kill a single hero. The DP gonna try and turn with the Rocket Barrage, Burning Barrage, but now gazed back in, and arrow lands and the Lich about to die. Oh my god, Waifu, can we survive with the Decrypt save? They're buying time. I'll leap back in with a nice cookie from the Snapfire, and Dria's dead.
Okay.
It looked like a pretty good dive from the Dire, but the plays from the Radiant keeping everybody alive.
Yeah, both teams struggling a little bit to solidify some kills. They have like, it's like everybody's pretty survivable, but there's not that many disables. Unless they like land an arrow, so I think that's hurting him a bit here. Visage really needed a wand in that fight. He was like an inch away from some mana that would have killed that the Mirana, but he ends up, or was it the Lich? The Lich, I think.
Just everyone.
Yeah. Everyone was barely alive. But yeah, mechs on both teams.
Yeah, I just remembered when Ben was saying interesting, I also said interesting at the same time, because I saw Lich going for Hand of Midas and Shadow Shaman going for the utility build here with Greaves. I was kind of expecting Shadow Shaman to go, I don't know, like, you know, Ether Lens, Bloodstone, Octarine, Blink Dagger, something along those lines for the more mid magic damage dealing core build. But
well, I mean, Exorcism is like one of the best damage ultimates in the game just by being alive. As long as you're alive, you do damage. So if he and he is a squishy hero, so and he's got this great mobility. He doesn't need mobility at all, so he just needs to live. So in that sense, him being the mech buyer for the team is really solid, I think. Makes sense. And Lich doesn't have AoE, other than you could argue Eye of the Storm's a little bit of an accelerator. He needs a Midas to give himself some longevity here.
yeah, that's right. I guess when both of your side laners are playing as Agi heroes, right? You've got Mirana, who is an Agi hero, going for right-click build, and Lich is the same story. You need someone to be the Greaves builder, and it's not going to be one of your supports.
Yeah. And if it is, it's going to be late. Whereas 250 HP right now is massively good.
Well, a good push on the bot tower. Ench playing from the trees with the web. A little bit more damage is needed as they get on top of Tofu's Mirana. They want this kill to get the +2, but it's not going to come. Kisses are a little late. Finally blow up the Visage and shred it in the firing line as well. Just Chain Frost just for a bit of nuke damage on the Pugner as the Lich finishes him off. God with a shotgun back into the webs to hide in the forest. But the tower fell. Okay. A 2 for 2 in the end. Not bad for the Dire team as they tried to go mid at the same time, it looks like.
Gotcha. It was an arcane exorcism, so not the end of the world, but yeah, no tower being killed there. So about even 2k gold advantage for the Dire team, so pretty close one still. Maelstrom on Death Prophet is up. He's queuing up Shard as well. That's the Insatiable Hunger Gravekeepers. Is this too early, do you think, to buy this?
On who, sorry? The
on
DP?
Death Prophet, yeah. Like, I mean, it does, how much damage do you get per second? 12 damage every 1 second. So by the time it's over, it's like 100 and some damage, which is a lot. But he doesn't have attack speed, really, outside of Burning Barrage. So I feel like it's a little bit... If he was like an Agi hero, I'd be down for it. But I feel like he's not quite going to make use of the Shard just yet, as fast as I would like. But maybe there's value in the Gravekeeper Cloak 1-2. Kind of, it's like a pseudo BKB in a way, if you get really screwed in the fight.
Yeah, I guess the other heroes don't suffer that much to being killed while you're healing. Like I feel like quite often the problem with Gravekeepers on a carry is you want to be out there doing damage, and Gravekeepers takes you out of the fight completely. Oh my god, the Sinister Gaze and the Shackles mid again. Good global. Silencer kept alive. They don't land the arrow, but they've got Scatter Blast, Frost Blast. How many more blasts? They've got a Soul Assumption Blast. Snapfire still alive, look. Another blast from Pugner, looking to kill the Clinks, but he's tanky enough, and now Invis under the Moonlight Shadow. God with a shotgun, healing with Drain back onto Shredded. Moving that Chain Frost up to the high ground and away from his team. One dead so far, and the Arcane Rune comes into play because EXO is back off cooldown again for Shadow Shaman. But it looks like the fight ends there with the Clinks' death.
Yeah, Silencer truly just lived.
Shadow Shaman, oh my god.
No disable.
Kisses. Can they kill Visage? They lose track of him.
The wards were kind of like
do they?
panically placed.
Nice Yules. He's alive.
Yeah, Shredder's HP right now is really low, raw. He's only got 900, so it's like mech plus... That's about it. So they had to like overspend just to keep him alive, which got the Enchantress killed for almost nothing. That one was kind of a bummer, but... Ultimately, we got to see the value of the shard from Silencer. That shit worked. I mean... Untouchable plus the shard, he stayed alive for a long time, they can't attack him. Then cast spells, but to do that gets them zapped, which hits at least 3 people. And he doesn't even have spell lifesteal yet, so like, if he buys it. I don't know if he will, we'll see. But, very tanky. That paid off well.
Yeah, I think that plays into the DP shard when it comes as well. Because you can definitely suffer as a carry when you Gravekeeper's Cloak and take yourself out of the fight. Your other heroes need to be survivable so they can stand their ground and fight. Then you have that actual time to heal up, come back, and do the damage. Like in other scenarios, your Gravekeepers and your team dies while you're healing.
Yeah, that one doesn't feel too good. But yeah, in these like team fight stages, maybe Visage is a little bit weaker here. Because you can't really get in those like melee scatter blasts like you can in the laning stage. Landing arrows is a little bit tough for the squad. He does have a Yules now, so he can set it up himself. But speaking of which, he's got an arrow top.
Oh no! Finish the job. Stick charges.
Oh.
Toggle the treads as well. And Clinks is there with the shackles and the Sinister Gaze, but he's gonna. Oh, the Chain Frost is good.
Okay, good
Nice Yules to make sure it doesn't bounce back, but he keeps himself alive because of it. It looked like the Clinks was a sacrifice there. Who's green? We've got the spin webs coming in from the right-hand side.
That's enchant.
This is going a little deep, but the Silencer's damage is barely enough. Did he get a Javelin proc on that?
A what proc?
Javelin.
Maybe.
To finish off the Clinks. I just don't know if the Clinks' HP is so low that it looked like he took so much damage from the one punch.
Yeah, he's only got 860 max, so it is not incredible. That's for sure.
That was the ultimate case of like real badasses don't look at explosions. We like, he just turned away, like he's dead.
This
and
is
he
so
went
good.
to 1 HP and the Visage came back in.
They're ready for his move in. Oh, the dust doesn't hit though.
Ooh. He heals him as well. Arrow, oh, that's the setup for the arrow, but he gets blown up by the kisses. Shadow Shaman dead though. That's a good trade. Visage happy about that. Exo wasted. Shadow Shaman down. Pugner, Sinister Gaze back in towards the Clinks, but this allows Shredder to chase him down with the Spirit Siphons.
Algedax doing the work on the high ground.
Yeah, here's Static Link, but now the Lich has followed the Silencer into the rest of the Dire team.
Very different fight with the Atos on the Death Prophet. That's really what did it. It's like they've been struggling to lock down the Shadow Shaman, who's just like running around invis, casting spells repeatedly. But that time they just like finally, he did a little bit over aggressive, and it happened to be the same time that the Atos comes out. So he gets nuked, Atos, and he ate the full Burning Barrage. That's what killed him. So
yeah, that solves the problem that I thought I had, well, I did have earlier. Where it's a bit of a struggle for the DP to dish out damage with Barrage when you have no stuns on your team, so she just buys one herself.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You go Gleipnir often on Clinks anyway, so
yeah,
it's one of those items that is just very, very popular in ability draft to solve some of those issues.
Oh, Mirana, please.
This is cool. He's just here for mana, that's all.
Arrow? Where's that going? Here's the snap. Visage and DP coming in from the right-hand side, and the snap fire down to the little Shredder. And every time there's a fight, everyone brings every hero. Like, everyone's TPing, looking to scrap and brawl.
That's good. That's the way to go. They're making their heroes work. I feel like every fight, we just see Lil Shredder on the Nether Ward. Like, every single time. We're getting, like, no Nether Ward value in most cases. That just has been really good at dealing with things. Oh, I see.
It's kind of funny looking at the net worth. You look at Silencer, he's coming, you know, 3rd overall, 2nd overall, whatever. But like you look at his items and it just seems so like mediocre.
Yeah.
21 minutes. Like he does have a Witchblade nearly coming through, but it's like doesn't seem that good for this time. Everyone's just fighting so much that the farming is limited.
And his farming will get better. Like the only item change that he should have done was instead of Bracer, he should have Falcon Blade. Certainly, it would have given him more HP. It would have given him good damage and would have given him really good mana regen, which would have been. He doesn't need a lot of mana regen, but a little would have been nice.
Do you know off the top of your head, like 20 minutes in a pro game, let's say a Terrorblade, you should be aiming for like 13k net worth, right?
That I have no idea about that answer.
Okay.
I don't hit creeps much. Yeah, that's like a perfect Knoxville question.
I feel like that's the value I have in my head is like 13, 14k at 20 minutes is like what you're aiming for.
Gotcha. I mean, they've definitely overfought.
So yeah, 10k's, yeah, for sure. Everyone's just 5v5ing in this game.
And there haven't been too many traditional carry builds this game that are like hyper farmers. The one that's closest maybe was Death Prophets, but he was playing mid, so it's a little different. That's one of the things I like about AD is sometimes you do just have these like fucking insane hyper carries, and other times it's like more normalized like this. That the
11,000, yeah, 11,100 Terrorblade at 20 minutes average.
Okay, so they're just slightly behind that, not huge, but definitely behind.
That's average.
That's average, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not what you're. That's not like I'm not thinking like max. I'm thinking, you know, very high end. So if 11k is average, I think 13k at 20 minutes is like what you're aiming for.
Gotcha. Chant abusing spin web really well for D wards. Not dangerous at all to enter the enemy jungle if you can just like walk up a cliff like this. So it's pretty good.
I'm surprised mid tier 1's still alive against EXO. All the fighting's happening top, so tier 1 is taking damage from catapults, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, almost all the Exos have been going for hero kills. They don't really have the best siegers, right? Like Lich will get there eventually, but even then he's not that good against towers actually. It's all like impetus and static link, right? So and he's not tanky enough to like frontline it with a BKB, so they're gonna have to win a team fight, I think, to take their buildings most likely, unless they get it with Exo, of course.
And they're trying with Moonlight Shadow up at top.
Egg's ready on Shaman now, so he's gonna have Exorcism. This one's gonna be really sick. AoE last word. And
Tofu. He put Grave Chill on the Sansa, and he's taking so much. They're all taking so much damage from this shard. Now the global to cover the Sansa as he runs forward with the help of Ench. And they've got the Gleipnir to catch the Clinks, dead even with the help of the Cookie. Tofu gets away from there, and it looks like in the mid lane tower dies. And Shadow Shaman, I don't know if he can kill the Visage here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But I'll throw the wards down
like
the bottom and get tier 2 anyway.
Good and offensive wards of the game. Like Shredder's had to pop them in some really like difficult spots so far this game. Once top, you know, in the jungle, once mid in a like awkward fight.
Then top again in front of his tier 1.
Yeah. Finally got to take a tower.
Ooh, he's actually not getting a little unfortunate for the Axe. He's not getting Exorcism from either Last Word or Plasma Field. Is it only abilities from Death Prophet usually?
I think so, yeah.
Or attack. Okay. So that's kind of a bummer. So the Axe is actually not that incredible then. I mean, he gets it for attacks, but he's not going to be attacking that often, so a little bit less effective.
I think it works. It's great with Flak because I think Flak it procs.
Because it's an attack? Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Usually I see it on like carries. Because, like, carries, you're alive, right? Like, it doesn't matter that much if Exorcism's going, and then getting Ags on that means that you start getting this, like, extra slow, slight lifesteal thing. I mean, either way, his AoE's really good. He's going to farm a lot faster with this Ags now, because he's got Last Word and Plasma Field.
I love Plasma Field. I think it's very, very good.
Yeah, I got
Plasma Field with, like, not Necromastery. Oh my god, I always forget Necro's passive. Heartstop or Aura?
Heartstop.
Yep.
So it's like good nuke and a slow, so it allows you to kill creep waves and catch up to heroes.
Yeah, I mean,
and a short cooldown.
Plasma Field's really the skill that makes Razor a carry in some ways, right? Like, it's like his farming mechanic, so
yeah.
It does everything. Disable, AoE, very good skill.
I love, the slow is really underrated also, like big component.
Oh, Lich gets a static link off. Pugner's in with big Spirit Siphons, and Gleipnir catches the two of them. The kisses look decent, but the life drain's there to heal the Visage through the fire damage.
Nice heal.
Now the snap is kind of trapped.
Do they know where he is, though?
Don't think so. They're not diving deep this
Radiant's
time, it
top
looks like.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, they're sitting really good on net worth now. Silencer's towards the top 2. He's got Atos, he's got the Gleipnir now. So,
Radiant's top tower
yep,
is
their
under
disable
attack.
is really solid. This is going to start forcing Shaman to go like BKB maybe, but I don't know if he's going to
Radiant
bother.
are scanning.
Yeah, I mean, I stand firmly corrected. I thought Radiant had the better draft overall, but the way this has developed, like 26 minutes in, feels very good for the Dire. I think their itemization just overall has been a little cleaner.
Look at the Lich. Look at the Lich, I mean.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest issue is the Lich and the Hand of Midas. Needs BKB now. Snapfire dies up at top. After Roshan
Yeah.
already got claimed.
The issue is that his build, like, Static Link should like win you a laning stage basically, but it didn't win them the laning stage because they had to deal with Spirit Siphon, which is like
And they have a Clinks.
they had a Clinks. The Pugna had Spirit Siphon, and it's a Pugna. So Pugna's model is amazing, high movement speed. So like he basically just could easily deal with the out harass from Impetus, which normally would be like, oh, you get Impetus too much time, so you have to leave the lane. Spirit Siphon's perfect for that. So it was like kind of like a counter that prevented Lich from just stomping his lane. And now he has to play like a more passive farm game. So like all of his laning abilities just don't feel good. So he's playing like a farm game when he needed to win the lane. So just one of those
It's
like
the
matchup
classic-
things.
It's like one of those classic always an item behind situations. Like he's got the Midas, got the Dragonlance, he needs BKB, he needs Mage Slayer apparently. He'll need a Satanic or a Daedalus or a Hurricane Pike.
I think what's
Never-ending
also been
journey.
important is that no one on the Radiant side, on the Dire side, has gone into like farming mode. They've always brought the numbers, so they've, even though the momentum is taking them a long time to build up, they've like held it because they've always had a numbers advantage. Even like Atka, you know, he's been involved in 9 of the kills, which is comparable to, you know, his entire team. It's just Shredder who's been everywhere.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Decent
Radiant's
harass in the
top
meantime.
tower is under attack.
What's the Mage Slayer even for?
Yeah, I was thinking about that a bit. The magic resistance is fine, for sure.
Against
but
Pugna, I guess.
I
laned against Pugna, fuck that guy.
Radiant's top tower
against Pugna, I think Silencer maybe too. Like limit some of
Yeah.
his nuke response.
That's right.
Radiant's middle
I mean,
Right.
we got Space Cowboy. If we want to ask about whether it's a good Mage Slayer game, there's no one better in the world to ask.
I mean, he'll just say yes.
barracks are under attack.
I mean, Atgat right now is killing people under tier 4s. Chain Frost, not a good one. Silencer trying to get away from the Static Link with the help of his Gleipnir. He'll make the room. Has a Glimmer Cape to cover him. And of course, Aegis still in hand for another 2.5 minutes. Impetus. Oh, the life drain doesn't keep him topped up enough, but now the Burning Barrage. Shadow Shaman dusted, but cookied and invised away. DP. Okay,
Okay, good
Stone
job.
Form. Nice.
He's gonna have damage when he comes out.
These insufferable Dire heroes seem unkillable. Life Drain healing with Silencer. DP is untouchable with a BKB. Static Link, not going to do a whole lot here as the dive in from Shredder, looking to finish off Waifu. I mean, Radiant, they're holding this high ground decently. Do lose the entirety of the mid-rack, sure, but they've now rebuffed the Dire and maybe chasing out their base for kills.
Okay.
Shadow Shaman gets the Visage.
I don't think I like this Aether Lens actually on Shaman. I get that he wants Octarine for Exorcism, but it literally only makes his last word longer cast range, so it feels a little bit redundant to me. In mana, I guess, but
Yeah, I mentioned it when I was thinking about the Greaves build, but I would have preferred like an Overwhelming Blink or something like that.
yeah.
Or even just a Hex.
Or
Get a
something that gives him
sacrifice.
int. Int would have also increased his damage. He would have gotten 2.5 damage to last word per int that he bought. So even like a Kaya Sanj type
Yeah.
shit might have been better too.
Is that even
Perhaps.
an item?
Oh yeah.
Very strong item.
I think
Every-
I bought 0 in like the last year.
Every Radiance enjoyer in chat right now is like, of course Kaya Sanj is an item. What are you
Any
talking
like
about?
magic based core, like Kaya Sanj is always going to be an option.
Yeah.
So definitely it
Normally,
could have worked.
I play poverty levels when it comes to.
Oh.
ability.
You know what he should have fucking bought? A Shiva's. 100%
Yeah.
a Shiva's.
Yeah, Shiva's Scythe, something big.
But definitely Shiva's, because like they have so many heals, right? We just talked about how many fucking heals they have. Armor for him,
true.
survivability, mana,
Shadows.
another AoE that he could have used. It gives him int, which increases the last word damage. It's not even that expensive. Oh no. That feels bad. They're just staring at him. They don't want to reveal that they're there. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, and the slow with the EXO is so nice.
It can be good. Yeah, that's true.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Away
attack.
to high ground we go again. Serpent Wards and Nether Blast and Little Shredder. Blimp trying the kisses to maybe zone the Dire away, but they're having none of it. Chain Frost with the Spire, though, pretty decent. Bouncing back onto the DP and Silencer. They'll force staff and jump away. That's a little seal totem from the Visage. And the
Why
Light
is
Green allows
Agnew
Adgar
running?
just to
Just
stand
fight,
his
dude.
ground.
Just
Fight
fight.
them. The Shadow Shaman probably would have died. But a buyback from the Clinks. Mirana
Got her.
launching projectiles. Gets the Enchantress down on the low ground. And Clinks is in the wide open. Killed off by the DP.
Barracks are under attack.
And there's just no way to breach this Dire front line.
Is under attack.
The barracks are dead. The DP and the Silencer. That just feels so difficult to handle.
Boink.
Nice attempted cookie, but there's Ogre Seal Totem, Yule Scepter from the Visage, keeping themselves alive, and now we come back in. Atgat with the Gleipnir, another one from the DP, finish off the Lich. That was your position 1 carry. Now Tofu holding the staircase, but just being charged at. The Dire, don't let them get away with anything.
I mean, they're owning.
Last word is annoying, man.
Yeah, it is. The Octarine really helps there. Lowers the cooldown a lot. That's why he was playing 4.
Like fake back number 5. Here we go.
He's got him
Back in
fear.
again, Shredder's got 3 Spirit Siphons on them. Have fun with that. Shadow Shaman gets into Invis. They don't have Reveal on him. Love a gem on the Dire team just to keep on chasing that skeleton walking Shadow Shaman. Oh, they've got a Gleipnir. They find him in the end. Serpent Ward's on the final lane as well. So they're doing multiple jobs at the same time, but he's back into Invis.
Do you see him get
Scurrying
gusted?
away from danger.
He got gusted by the leap. Did 150
Oh, did he?
damage. Yes. 30% slow for 2.5 seconds.
So powerful.
Now the Greaves in the
Thank you,
pipe though,
Sagan.
and the heals. It's just way too much. And their frontliners are too tanky. Oh, maybe not this time.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the cover of the Global Silence. There's no follow through. Hex up the Lich, dead yet again. He didn't even get his BKB. That's a 7-second BKB he still has, but couldn't use it in time.
Just take the racks, that guy.
Another lane, yeah. Just hit the buildings. Radiant trying to attempt again with a Moonlight Shadow. The Exo is going, but Mega Creeps will be coming. Shadow Shaman gets disabled. Gleipnir's galore from the Dire. And Tofu with this BKB trying to stand her ground and fight, but the GGs, they come out in the end.
Damn. Very, very good for the Dire team. Mildcard Gaming, 2-0 in the semifinals. That puts them in the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, we've watched a lot of their games today. Luckily, I guess, considering where they're at. But they've drafted like really fucking good every single game.
They came in as C21, and they are now in the finals.
Yeah, because we seeded more heavily on MMR this tournament compared to the previous one, right? Because last time there was one AD heavy team that made it to finals, but the team that won it was just like super fucking high MMR. They were all like
Magic Ashk.
Is that the name of the teams?
They play. No. They're like they had like a semi-pro player or ex-pro player, Magic Ash.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Who
but the
was,
team that won, like their builds were slightly worse, but they just executed so flawlessly most of the time. Like they controlled Roche perfectly, all their ganks. They ganked the heroes they needed to gank really effectively. That seemed to push them over the edge. But this time, it feels like the AD players are winning a bit. Does that seem like that to you?
Yeah, because I think last time we did draft house, we had maybe like 2 AD stacks going towards like the quarterfinals and semifinals, and this time we've got like 3, as opposed to last time when we had a bunch of 7K MMR players dominating.
Well, it's good to see a little variety both times. That was a great match. We're going to jump to a break quick and take an eye on the next game, so we will be back soon, depending on when the other semifinals is in their matches. So we'll be back in a second. Thanks for watching, guys.